Dan Orlovsky, former NFL quarterback, on the Browns quarterback situation.
It was obvious that once they traded out of the number 2 position, that at least at that position, there wasn't looking forward to 2026. That you get that second first round pick in 2026. I understand value, but when you're an organization that doesn't have a quarterback, that is naturally going to be, rightfully so, what we attach the thought process to. So there's, and initially my mind goes to, okay, there's got to be overall looking at that class and saying there's some really high potential guys that might be in that class. So if you are the Browns and that's your thought process, I agree with you. Joe can go out and play probably competent football tomorrow. So if that's what you have, and you think as an organization that the general manager and the head coach are the right people, really indifferent of results this year, outside of, oh my gosh, it's a total disaster, then I really do think you want to do everything you can to figure out Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. And did you find a guy that all of a sudden becomes Brock Purdy? All of a sudden becomes Dak Prescott? All of a sudden becomes a mid-round pick that overplays where he was selected, and maybe then quarterback's not that pressing need in the first round next year. Maybe you get to be in the advantageous situation that not only did you steal a starting quarterback, but you got him in a later rounds, and now you can really build a roster that can go on a 2 or 3 year run around that quarterback.
So, G. Bush, before we get to the quarterback discussion, this is ranking the worst NFL quarterback rooms. They have the Steelers as the worst. That's Mason Rudolph, Will Howard, Skylar Thompson. The expectation is that potentially Aaron Rodgers will be there. The Colts are the next with Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones, Riley Leonard, and Jason B. And then they have the Browns third with Watson, Flacco, Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders. I get the thought. I don't think you can't go to, well, we got to figure out between Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel until you have the entire competition. You have to try to win when the season starts. At some point, if you're not winning, then it becomes getting that. But you don't start the season saying, we got to get the answer between Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. You go out and say, is either one of these guys going to beat 40-year-old Joe Flacco or a guy in Kenny Pickett that hasn't had a lot of success in the NFL?
I get really frustrated with this because, it just seems like, in the media, we are in the business of projecting and never actually settling and watching what's going on during the year. The most frustrating thing is to hear people say this doesn't matter and that doesn't matter. All that matters is finding out what the quarterback is or Arch Manning or whatever. And these are the same exact reasons why Myles Garrett and veterans get upset. And then we get upset at them because they say, dude, we're not trying to win. I don't want to play these games. I want to try to win. And then we get mad at them like, oh, well, why are you mad? Why would you be upset? You know where we're at in our rebuild. And it's like, no, the Cleveland Browns have to get to a point where I want to be where some of these other teams are, where it doesn't matter what's going on. We have a culture and a standard of winning, and we're going to compete regardless. And I know people don't like to hear, well, do you want to really just be in the middle or, would you rather bottom out? We've been bottoming out for 40 years, man. And at some point in time, I would like my coaching staff, I would like the front office to say, listen, this is what we're about. Just the next guy up. We want to draft well enough. We want to get free agents. We want to develop well enough that we can develop some guys that we got. My thing is this: you bring all 4 of these dudes in, and I'm excited about the opportunity to see them compete. Last year, it was Camp Cupcake. Yep. Everybody was given jobs. Everybody was, this guy's hurt, this guy's hurt. Let's just get him to the season. And you see what just getting to the season looks like. You get 3 wins. I want guys to go out there, whether it's Dylan Gabriel, whether it's Shedeur Sanders, whether it's Kenny Pickett or Joe Flacco. I want the best guy to win. I want them to give them the keys, and I want them to fight it out in the arena like it's Gladiator. I want to see who's the best. I'll also, hey, Quinshon Judkins, I like you a lot, but Dylan Sampson is pretty good. Hey, Jerome Ford, Hey, do you want us to add something to your game? Because guess what? We can add something to your game, and you can keep your job. I want to see these guys fight it out and actually go through training camp so we can watch and evaluate and then get to the season and let's try to win football games. My goal isn't to maximize these picks where everybody's dream is like, hey, well, we were terrible this year. We got a first round pick and then we got the Jaguars pick. So now listen, I'm sorry. I could care less about what Arch Manning is doing right now. I don't even know if he's coming out. Nussmeier, whatever the case may be, we'll catch you guys next year. But as for today, we're trying to build something. That's what we're trying to do.
Well, the other thing is, and I said this last year when they kept trotting Deshaun Watson out after week 5, 6, how do you sell that to the other 53 guys that are getting torn ACLs and broken bones and torn up triceps? They're beating the crap out of themselves to try to win football games. You better put the best players on the field.
That's it. And I'm going to be the first to say it. Listen, I have no bias about it. Hey, if Kenny Pickett wants to come out here and be the greatest, he wants to salvage his career, great. If Dillon Gabriel, say what you want about him, and he's a third-round pick, he's undersized, maybe not have an NFL arm. If he wants to come out here and dominate camp, so be it. We'll rock with Kenny Pickett or Flacco or whatever the case may be. But I'm not into the business of giving nobody do anybody no favors. The Cleveland Browns won 3 games last year. I want to see them put it together just like the Washington Commanders did. I know they got a franchise quarterback, but this happens year after year. We know it. It's been documented. Teams go from 3 to 11. Teams could go from 4 to 10, 12 wins in a season, and why not you? But I'm not in the business of fast forwarding no games, talking about let's get to the dome. I'm a football guy at heart, and I believe when you put the pads on and you put your body and your time and energy and effort like they do, the wins is the only thing you're getting out of that. And I don't care nothing about no college quarterbacks at this point. We'll catch you next year if you're available.